Hello everyone, welcome back to Technique. Today we'll be doing a camera comparison of two devices under the 40,000 price segment with really great and powerful hardware. We have the newly launched iQOO Neo 9 Pro with us, and we'll be doing a quick camera comparison with one of the segment best, the OnePlus 12R. So let's see which of these devices have the better camera in this price segment. Now to talk about the hardware, both of these devices have the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 platform, and both have really great camera hardware as well. Now the performance is not what we are going to do in this video, so we'll be doing a different speed test comparison. That's different video, but in this video we'll be talking only about the cameras on these two devices. Now there is a difference in terms of camera setup. Here we have a dual camera setup, here we have a triple camera setup, but how good is the camera on these two devices? That's what we're going to talk about in this video. So before getting into the video, if this is your first time on this channel, do hit that subscribe button and also hit the bell icon to get notified of all the videos we publish. So let's begin. So first let's talk about the camera hardware. Now this iQOO Neo 9 Pro comes with a Sony IMX920 sensor. It's a Sony's 50 megapixel sensor with f1.8 aperture. Then on the secondary camera you get an 8 megapixel ultra wide. There is no macro sensor on this. iQOO has skipped the macro sensor. Now there is a 16 megapixel selfie camera on the iQOO Neo 9 Pro. Now while coming to the OnePlus 12R, this device comes with again a 50 megapixel sensor, Sony IMX890 sensor, again f1.8 aperture. Then you get an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera and a third 2 megapixel macro sensor. Now when we reviewed the camera on this device, we mentioned that the 2 megapixel macro sensor is kind of very much average or very poor in quality. So iQOO has done a good job by skipping the 2 megapixel sensor, because none of the devices have had a good 2 megapixel macro sensor. All of them are average, so it makes sense to skip the 2 megapixel sensor. So let's not talk about the macros on these two devices, because iQOO Neo 9 Pro does not have the macro sensor. Now the selfie camera is again a 16 megapixel shooter on the OnePlus 12R. So both of these devices have 50 megapixel primary sensor, Sony IMX sensors, then the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 platform, which has a pretty good ISP as well. So let's see how they perform. Let's first have a look at the daylight captures. In terms of daylight captures, you can see that there isn't much to differentiate. The colors are slightly different here, but not by a huge margin, more or less similar. iQOO does have this tendency of slightly richer colors, but you can always go with the natural mode. Here the natural and the vivid color mode doesn't have much of a difference, but overall we would say both the devices did perform really well here. The sharpness levels, the detailing, the colors, and the dynamic range looks very similar, but I would like to say that the dynamic range will stand better on the iQOO Neo 9 Pro, but not by a huge margin. So in terms of daylight condition, we would say there isn't a winner. Both are really good. Again, there is some minor differences in terms of the color tones, one being slightly warmer, one being slightly cooler, but again those are not really that major things to consider. So if you're looking for daylight captures, we would say both did a quite good job. The sharpness levels, the detailing looks really good on both the devices. Now moving on to the ultra wide angle camera. This is where things are slightly different. The iQOO Neo 9 Pro has a slightly better ultra wide, I would say. The colors are very similar to the primary camera, while on the OnePlus 12R the colors were slightly different than the primary camera. Now iQOO also does a better job with the details and sharpness levels, and also dynamic range was better in the ultra wide angle camera. So in terms of ultra wide, probably iQOO was the winner here. Now in terms of close-up shots, once again you can see here both have really good colors, good details, good sharpness levels. So here I would say both did a pretty good job. There isn't much to differentiate in terms of detailing, and here I would say both the devices did a really good job, iQOO being slightly richer in tones. So that was the close-up shots. Now OnePlus 12R has macro. We are not taken that into account because the iQOO Neo 9 Pro does not have a macro. Now moving on to the portraits, this one area once again the iQOO Neo 9 Pro does a pretty good job. You can see that the skin tones are more accurate on the iQOO Neo 9 Pro, while the OnePlus 12R has a slight tendency to whiten or brighten the face, which is not really the accurate colors. If you look at the portraits on the iQOO Neo 9 Pro, they are more closer to reality. So I would say the iQOO Neo 9 Pro did a better job here. Even the edge detection was slightly better on the iQOO Neo 9 Pro. So in terms of portraits, our pick would be the iQOO Neo 9 Pro for better skin tones, better details, and also slightly better edge detection. Next, moving on to the low light captures. In indoor light with artificial light, you can see here nothing much to differentiate. Both the devices have pretty good tones and details, and the noise level is kept to very minimal. But when it comes to extreme low light, when you turn on the night mode, here we would say iQOO has the tendency to saturate the colors, and as a result, you can see the sky colors are kind of boosted. But at the same time, iQOO Neo 9 Pro has more details. The shadows are resolved really well. The sharpness levels is impressive, and overall quality also looks pretty good. So here I would say in terms of low light conditions, iQOO Neo 9 Pro did a better job overall than the OnePlus 12R. The OnePlus 12R low light captures are not really that impressive, and the noise levels are slightly higher than the iQOO Neo 9 Pro. So low light conditions, iQOO Neo 9 Pro is the winner. Now next is the selfie camera. Here I would say both did a quite good job. There isn't much to differentiate. So I would say these are again more of a personal choice. I like the selfies on both the devices. Both the 16 megapixel shooters did a quite good job with the skin tones, the sharpness levels, the details, and also even the portrait selfies also turned out to be pretty good. So in terms of selfies, I would say more or less similar performance. Next, let's move on to the video recording. Now, both the devices can do 4K 60 FPS recording, while the iQOO Neo 9 Pro also has 8K recording. In terms of video quality, I would say iQOO Neo 9 Pro was better details and better sharpness levels too, and the stabilization was a tad better on the iQOO Neo 9 Pro. So I would say in terms of video recording, the 4K 60 FPS video, iQOO was slightly ahead. Now, in terms of 1080p 60 FPS, also the similar experience, the stabilization was a tad better on the iQOO Neo 9 Pro. Even the colors and details and sharpness levels was also better on the iQOO Neo 9 Pro. The OnePlus 12R video recording needs a bit more fine tuning. This we have mentioned in the detailed camera review as well. Now both the devices can record videos in 1080p resolution with the ultra wide angle camera. Again, I would say iQOO did a slightly better job in terms of video recording. So in terms of overall quality of video recording, iQOO was better. So this is the front facing camera sample taken with iQOO Neo 9 Pro. It can record videos only in 1080p resolution. So you can judge yourself how good the clarity of the videos and also the audio output from the video recording. So this is the front facing camera sample taken with the OnePlus 12R. It can record videos in 1080p resolution. So you can judge yourself how good the clarity of the videos and also the audio output from this video. So that was a detailed camera comparison of the iQOO Neo 9 Pro with the OnePlus 11R. So summing up, which is the better device to choose if you're looking primarily for camera? Now the iQOO Neo 9 Pro has a really good camera setup, and even the OnePlus 12R is no different. But let's divide these into different categories. Daylight conditions, both the devices did a really good job, good sharpness, good detailing. The primary 50 megapixel cameras are solid. Now ultra wide, I would say iQOO Neo 9 Pro did have an edge over the OnePlus 12R. The 8 megapixel was better on the iQOO Neo 9 Pro. Now in terms of close-up shots, once again very similar experience. Both are winners here. Now in terms of portraits, once again iQOO Neo 9 Pro did produce better skin tones and details when compared to the OnePlus 11R. So in terms of portrait, our pick would be the iQOO Neo 9 Pro. Now when it comes to low light conditions, again I would say overall quality, the dynamic range, the resolving of shadows, the sharpness levels and the detailing was better on the iQOO Neo 9 Pro. But having said that, iQOO Neo 9 Pro has this issue of sky getting a lot richer in blue color. That's not the case actually, that's not real images, but looking at the details and sharpness levels, I would still prefer the iQOO Neo 9 Pro, although it's not really the greatest of color rendering. Now selfies, both did a quite good job. Again, a very similar performance. I would say it's more of a personal choice. Now video recording, once again iQOO was the winner here because it has slightly better stabilization and better color quality. So summing up all the aspects, probably I would be inclined to pick the iQOO Neo 9 Pro in terms of the camera experience among these two devices. So that was my comparison. So what do you guys think about which one did better in terms of the overall camera experience? So if you ask me which would the better camera out there would be, then it would be the iQOO Neo 9 Pro. So that was our camera comparison. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do hit that like button and also hit the subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.